Yep, that's me in the middle there with the two outer. How did I get here, you ask? Well, to tell that story the right way, I think we have to go back a ways. Okay, here we go. Some kind of 9 max bullshit. New tournament, they say, but it's the same crappy structure that it basically always is. And I'm not sure why I entered this, to be honest. It's been okay, I guess. We just got in the money not long ago. These are 7-minute levels, so this is going to be a long ass video if I make the final table. But sitting with just under 100 big blinds now at a pretty stacked table. Most of the stacks, as you can see, are to my right, which is obviously better. But yeah, I'm. It's not that I'm on tilt or anything, but I'm just not happy with the fact that I entered this tournament. First of all, it's a 8 max, which isn't quite as bad as a 9, but it's still not desirable. And just looking at the payout structure, like it's really hard to get excited about this. I mean, there's fucking 2,600 players in this thing, and to beat a field that size, you really want to get paid. And even in a really top shape bounty situation, I can't imagine the winner is going to get much more than maybe 350. And even that's stretching it. It's probably going to be a lot lower than that. So that's a really bummer re-raise. Anyway, I'm not really in the mood to stick around and play tight or anything like that. I'm already like trying to talk myself out of calling this cold. But that guy, despite being the chip leader, hasn't really played a lot of hands. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold. I guess I'm okay with it. Anyway, we'll take a look at the chip graph here. I'll catch you up. I've yet to be all in this tournament, which is great. I should say, I have yet to be at risk in this tournament. I played pretty steadily, as you can see, along this period, and then right here, I forget what the hand was. I stacked somebody, and then the very next hand, I limped in early position with 9-7 of diamonds, and called a min raise along with 4 other players to see a 5-way flop that came Jack 10-8 of diamonds, thus giving me a straight flush on the flop. And I proceeded to check call the flop, check raise the turn, and then shove the river. And a guy called me with 2 queens with the queen of diamonds, and I just barely had him covered. So I picked up a nice little bounty there. Oh wow, that's so sick. Chip leader gets richer, 189,000. Anyway, so I stacked up pretty quickly in this period right here, and then I've just been kind of treading water a little bit, not really doing much ever since. I was watching TV on the side. I'm hoping that's stopping that is not going to cause problems here, because that was keeping me entertained. 8 max, I have a really hard time. You can see my flop scene. I played 0 hands on the phone. This is my entire tournament was on the PC. So you can see that, I don't know how long I've been in this thing. 31 minutes. Yeah, I've been in this thing for like an hour and 45 minutes, and there's only been 97 hands, which is pretty weak. And as you can see, I've seen the flop 42% of the time, which is fairly active for an 8 max. And even for me, I'd say in an 8 max, that's probably above average by a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I'd love to win this thing, but like any other position, maybe second place, but that's so brutal in a KO. So like literally any other position other than first place is going to upset me. And meanwhile, I have people at the beach waiting to play volleyball, and I'm really anxious to be doing that rather than doing this. So, if I get a spot to gamble, I'm probably going to take it. To be honest, I mean, if I think I have a coin flip, I might even take it. I don't think there's many situations where I'd want to give up. Then again, that said, like maybe my competitive nature will change that in the moment. But right now, like I just let's see how many chips are even in this thing anyway. Okay, so there's there's 13.2 million chips in this tournament, which would be, I believe, the biggest stack I've ever built from a 5K starting stack. And like I said, the levels are 7 minutes long, which makes it a little bit less terrible. It is like a half-assed turbo, and however the structure is pretty slow, pretty smooth. especially in this area right here. Look how smooth that is. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is like a really, really grindy tournament, and I'm not particularly in the mood for that. That's largely why I was watching TV on the side. So if I happen to go deep in this tournament, I mean, I might even stop the recording, watch TV some more, and then if I happen to go deep, I'll re-record. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna, I don't know. If this turns out to be a long recording, I'm either gonna leave it largely unedited, or I'm gonna cut the shit out of it and cut it down to like, you know, half an hour between here and the final table. So I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I'm just not a great mood. It's not because of anything poker. I've been doing great in this tournament. I have nothing to complain about. You know, not being all in, flopping a straight flush, cracking the shit out of queens. I had him dead to a royal flush on the flop, which is pretty nice. Everything else has been pretty safe. I didn't have to take any real risks. I did have to sweat, however. Wow, that's such a loose call. Like, yeah, these people are nuts. I did have to sweat a pretty insane first table where, just like you saw, there was a lot of psychotic play going on. A lot of just over shoving with nonsense. Hold on one sec. Man, that was some crazy shit we just saw there. Ace 10 against ace queen. That's some yeah, this guy doubled up into like second place, or he was in second place, with a pair of tens, which is just it was like that earlier too, and I was getting really frustrated. I didn't let it get the best of me, but it was extremely frustrating because it was just like there wasn't a way to get a chip in edgewise, and I just ended up, you know, pretty much playing tight to get away from it, and eventually managed to find a spot where I hero called the guy on two streets, turn and river, with second pair of fives or second last pair of fives, second bottom, and they were good. And so I made a good read to chip up a little bit. That was this part right here. That's what that was. And then I don't know what this was. I don't really remember that either. Oh yeah, king five of diamonds, and I turned trips after flopping second nut flush draw. Won a nice pot there, and then like I said, the big spike was those hands that I talked about earlier. So nothing like flopping a straight flush. It's been a while. Yeah, so here's that hand I was talking about. I just brought up the hand history, so I'll show you how that played out. I limped. Guy made a small raise. Oh yeah, we were four-handed. Sorry, not five. And then flop comes out just gin immediately. Early position. It's tough to play these. A lot of the time I would lead out, but I felt like there's too big of a chance that people would be turned off by that flop. And if they didn't have like a strong flush draw and it came in, I would be in pretty bad shape. So I wanted to try to win a big pot. I calculated early on that I had everybody covered in this hand. I did the math on this guy, and I saw as soon as he called, or as soon as he bet this and I called, this is the point in the hand where I realized I have this guy covered by like 60 chips or whatever. So I'm going to try to get it all, and I took the risk of check raising the turn, which was an 8. As you can see, it pairs the board. It's a little bit scary. So my check raise does look a lot stronger than I would rather it look. I would prefer to make this check raise on like a 6 of spades turn, but I made it small enough so that I thought probably a good flush draw would stick around, and you know, a hand like Jack 10 or Ace Jack or something like that might also stick around. As you saw, he had queens, so like he did have a hand of that sort. And then I just decided to go for all of it on the river, because I didn't want to reveal what I was doing in this hand. I didn't want to show everybody how I played this without getting paid. And so this guy had a pretty significant bounty at 69 cents. Oh, I flopped two pair. Bummer. And so I just decided to go for it all, and sure enough, he called and lost with queens. So that was pretty nice. Can't complain about that. Definitely wish I completed the small blind there last hand. Yeah, like this situation, probably going to gamble, to be honest. Fuck. Yeah, you know what? Like, let's just blast it all. Fuck it. I'll get the rage quit button here ready because like I don't want to just meekly go through this tournament. This is super suicidal, but like I don't even care. He's probably calling Sasha Turbo. It'd be amazing if he folded, but I'm not expecting it. I'm expecting to have to win the side. I suppose he could fold better. Might fold sevens or eights. And I got the other guy crushed, so that's pretty amazing. And dead. No need for the rage quit. Picked up a bounty, that's nice. And my image is now crazy, so that's kind of neat. I wonder if Sasha Turbo had a heart. That would have been so devastating. But you can see what I mean. Like when I started the recording, I'm like, I'm in no fucking mood to fold. Well, that's a pretty good example of what I meant, what I had in mind. Is like, let's just go for a big spot. Let's just gamble. I don't even care. Like I said, there's volleyball waiting for me on the beach. It's Friday night. I don't even know why I played this thing. The money, the leaderboard, like the payouts are so shit. I mean, you know, imagine finishing 14th out of 2,600 and you get like $4. It's just, why do people play these? I feel like anybody who plays these consistently is definitely down money overall. Like, how could you possibly be a winner playing KO tournaments of this size? You know, because getting through a field of 2,600, man, I mean, you're not going to do that too many times in a year, let alone like on a regular basis. So I don't know. I don't see the upside of KOs, and I hate playing anything above 8 or 6 max. And I also don't really like no limit hold'em. So this is like a lot of different things I don't really like. And like you just saw, you know, I'm willing to blast it off pretty light. Especially against a guy who, you know, I felt like that call was light. It's a good chance, you know, it's quite possible that he folded a flip or a better hand. I don't believe that's the case. I feel like that call was like A7 offsuit or something. Maybe even worse. You know, King 10, whatever. But I don't know. I might even like open up the TV and keep watching. Yeah, that's actually noteworthy. I started watching Parks and Recreation, which I discovered, I'm very pleasantly surprised to find out, is a hilarious show with no weak links. It's the first show in history, first TV show that isn't a cartoon or isn't animated, that I've ever watched where I was not extremely annoyed by one particular character. For instance, The Sopranos is a show that I enjoy. However, I cannot stand Carmela, and I think there's somebody else in that show that I really don't like. So basically, there's always somebody that just irritates me really badly. And this show, I'm in season 2 now after a few weeks of watching it to go to bed. Normally, I don't watch TV at any time other than bedtime. And this is a show that I've actually been watching, like, you know, for supper or not when I plan on going to sleep. I actually don't want to fall asleep during this show, which, you know, is pretty rare. So Parks and Recreation, it's a really funny show. I started watching it because I'm like borderline in love with what's her real name? Aubrey Plaza. I saw her on a couple of talk shows, mainly Conan O'Brien. And I really enjoyed how much disdain she had for her own industry, show business, and how fake everything is. And she was like openly disdainful of how fake show business is. And I was like, okay, this is at least like maybe a real person. And, you know, she's really attractive too, at least I find as well. So I started watching it for her, and I very quickly discovered that everybody's funny. Chris Pratt, for example, is somebody who I've never been impressed with at all. I only really know him from Jurassic Park, and I was like, no, this sucks. Not only does Jurassic Park suck, but like Chris Pratt is unimpressive in general. And it turns out he is amazing in his role in Parks and Recreation. So, yeah, really good stuff all around. And this guy can go fuck himself, I think, because that looks super weak to me. This is like a terrible board for ace queen, but I feel like this might be a raise and take it. Of course not, because this guy's super stubborn. I don't know what he's min betting with. It looks like ultra suspect. I feel like I probably have the best ace here. Kings, what the fuck? Okay, good read, Casper. Yeah, he probably has a small race. At least I got him to shut down. That's okay. I guess I'm pretty glad I didn't 3-bet before the flop. I hate doing that shit from the blinds with a hand like ace queen. I'm probably the only one in the tournament left who would not have 3-bet ace queen in that spot, but fucking no limit hold'em, man. It's so boring. There's just never anything cool going on. It's just pre-flop, raise, re-raise, fold, bet, fold. Like there's never anything cool. What? Just as I say that, huge cooler. That was pretty interesting. But yeah, in general, it's so terrible. Nice, Silo side. Where's this guy from? Montenegro. Yeah, sure, I'll call the chip leader with a7 offsuit. That doesn't scream bad idea in every way. Hey, I got a bounty. Oh yeah, right. The sixes. Cool. Nice little bump. Oh, that's actually a pretty good flop for my hand. Nut flush draw, quads draw, 5-way full house draw. I mean, what more do you want? Also, steal the pot draw. That's always nice. Unlikely, I think, on this flop, but there's still more streets to come. Yeah, that's an above average turn card, I'd say. Maybe. We'll see. Depends on what he has, I guess. I would really like to have like an ace of clubs on the river. I think that would be the most hidden way. I wouldn't complain about a 7 either, but that's, I guess, maybe a bit too greedy. A 7, I feel like I'd get all the action, though. I feel like this guy has a 10, maybe 10 jack, something like that. Nut flush draw comes in. I really don't think this guy has a calling hand, though. Wow, I'm really surprised I got paid there. I guess it was like queen 10 with the queen of hearts, or queen 9 with the queen of hearts. I don't get to see. What the fuck? Give me this. Pocket fours. What the fuck? Are you serious? Oh, 4 hearts. Okay, so he made a flush. That's worthy of a note. Yeah, that's really surprising. I thought there weren't too many hand combinations that would have been happy with that river from him, unless he had me absolutely destroyed with like 10s full or something, which, you know, felt pretty possible. Of course, until he just called. Ah, damn it. I'm getting texted, "Where are you?" from the volleyball people. Sorry, man, I'm busy doing this fucking stupid thing. Man, I'm getting a lot of ace rags here. It's not really what I want. It's a bit of a weird stack setup here. There's a lot of deep play. I mean, the 4 players to my right all have pretty reasonable stacks. The average is only 53,000, and there's, you know, 5 of us way above it. And this guy's still chip leader, so chip leader, you know, across the table from me. It feels like this table is going to create a super stack. If any 2 of us clash above 100K, I mean, it's... Aw, boo. Yeah, if any 2 of us clash, I mean, it could get dirty real fast. I hope the turn's a king, so I don't feel so bad about this. Yeah, I probably had the best hand. Damn it. Oh well. Pretty comfy above 100 big blinds. My chip graph's looking pretty damn sexy. Gotta love those average bounces. Look at that. Boop, boop, boop. It's looking like a stock chart of HKD. 6th place out of 245. How many... did we get a pay bump yet? Yeah, 2 pay bumps. Whoa! Look at that. I got $1.15 coming to me. Make the top 10% and get your money back plus 5 cents. I just I don't know why anybody would want to play this shit. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about this hand though. His stall on the flop initially had me worried he might have like king six. Maybe that is still the case, but anyway, this is bound to be an uninteresting hand. Just call with ace high. Nice. What's my getting tighter. I always get tighter when I turn the mic on. To be honest, I kind of feel like doing something funny. Like this is, I don't know. I just don't have money on my mind right now. I don't have winning on my mind right now. It's just these, I don't play big fields. You may have noticed basically all the tournaments that I play are like, 100, 200, 300. Sometimes 400 or 500. Like the Scholars leaderboard, for instance, is consistently 400 to 500 players. I do obviously play those because the prize pool, 400 added. What else do you want from life? But I don't ever play like these mega super micro millions, I play the KOs, I guess. I sometimes try to satellite into them. But I don't regularly play like a 2K guarantee $1 buy-in. This is a really, really odd thing for me to have bought into, which kind of adds to my disappointment in doing well in it because, I could have won a tournament with like 100 players by now. And, that would have been worth maybe $20. And instead of winning a 100-player tournament for $20, I'm currently guaranteed a grand total of just over $4 right now. Or no, just under $4 rather. Which is terrible. Ugh. The distance you have to go in these things in order to make a reasonable amount of money is just terrible. And folding a suited king really bums me out. That's like one of my favorite types of hands. I was really hoping the original raiser would re-raise so I'd not feel so bad. No, I got the nut flush, on that flop. Or nut flush draw, rather. Yeah, I'm falling asleep already. This is shit. It's just this tournament, the payout structures just get worse and worse, Pretty soon it's going to be like, all right, yeah, 2K guaranteed. If you win the tournament, you get fucking, a $5 gift card to like a defunct fucking video store, 3 discarded candy wrappers, and like a hearty kick to the face or something. Like it's just, it's so not worth playing. I need to know what that guy click raised with. What was that min re-raise? Where's the mucked? 9-8 of diamonds. Alright, you get a note for you for that shit. Alright, I'm good to get all in against anybody left in this hand. That's cool that that guy's all in. I might just blast it here, actually. Yeah, fuck you, man. 9. Boom! Cool. Oh, no. Sweet. Kill as comfy stack. So that's interesting. Sasha Turbo opened the door with 9-8 of diamonds. Actually, let me review that again. He hit an 8. Yeah, okay. He hit an 8 and proceeded to lose a huge pot. Let me see how that happened. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, pre-flop, blah, blah, blah. I know that, okay, so bet, strong, or check flop, bet, call, river bet again, and then call. 33 into 37. Yeah. Then stuck hard to pair of eights. Second pair of eights. Second pair eights. Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like busting Sasha Turbo is not out of the question right now. And that's a good start. Straight flush draw, baby. I feel like this is a bit gluttonous. Like, I'm getting check raised would suck here, but I feel like I should give myself options just in case it bricks out. I could rep a queen convincingly, or build a pot for, some kind of sweet turn card. It's not exactly the turn card I had in mind. That's the river I had in mind, though. Exactly. An ace would have scared them. So I don't think there's a good chance I'm getting paid, but there could be a queen out there, so I'm going to go for more. Yeah, I'm gonna say like probably queen 8, something like that. That's what it felt like anyway after he called that quickly. Queen 8 exactly. What do you know? It's about time I nail it. Could have easily been queen 10, but I decided to go with queen 8. Anyway, up to 180. I don't know if that's worth celebrating or not. I just kind of feel like who cares until like until there's 5 players left. Like, I don't care about this tournament, man. I just don't give a shit. Which begs the question, why did you enter this tournament, Casper? You should have just gone to enjoy life on the beach. I went for a beach session earlier at noon. Had a good time. Met some folks. Those folks were like, hey, we're going to be chilling later. You want to come play volleyball? And I said yes. I just have to eat and finish some work. And then I got stuck in this. Don't know why. Good thing I didn't bet the turn. I feel like that was the right move, not betting the turn on that last hand. I mean, obviously I knew I wasn't good with the nut low. So if I miss, I can give up. And if I hit, I managed to get a pretty sizable bet on the river. So definitely pretty content with the way I played that last hand. And now that guy's down to 48,000, which makes him not easy pickings, but there's a fairly significant bounty there. Up to 304 plus 132. Yeah, baby. I got 436. Actually, I'm even for the day. That puts me in the green on the day, I think. Wait. No, just barely red on the day. I need one more pay bump or one more bounty, and I'll have a green day. So far, anyway. Wonder what the hell's going on here. I haven't been paying attention at all to this hand. I probably should have been. This looks super strong. Could just be like a... No, I'm not even going to guess. 4 is full, yeah. Oh, against the straight. That's so sick. Now this guy has no chips. Oh, shit. See, these are the situations in KO tournaments where all hell breaks loose. When the guy with the biggest bounty left in the tournament, which is this player here, suddenly has no chips and is likely to be on tilt, that's, when he goes all in, I don't even think it's going to get to me without several other all-ins. Like, that's generally how it goes, is just people just go crazy for these KOs, and it's so not worth it. Like, yeah, okay, you add a little bit to your stack, but do you really want to fuck up your tournament, for $3.44? I mean, I don't know. I just, I don't understand the value of KOs. I don't see it. I finally won one during this challenge. It's the only tournament I've won, actually, during this challenge. And I continue to be unable to see the value in KOs. It's just, there's nothing there. Like, you have to go so deep. You basically have to finish first. There's no... the consolation prizes aren't worth it. And in order to finish first, you have to have the best hand a lot of the time, which takes away any kind of skill advantage or a huge percentage of whatever skill advantage you may have. Yeah, see, watch this. Like, Sasha Turbo might just blast it with like ace-3 or something. Yeah, there you go. See what I mean? Reshove, guaranteed Sasha Turbo. Not guaranteed, but like, yeah, it's pretty light. Ace 10. I'm pretty happy this guy actually has it, so that he's still in, and that bounty's still available. Not just that, but Sasha Turbo is now down to 25,000. So I think it's a lot more likely for me anyway to be able to bust Sasha Turbo. What's this guy doing over here? 23,000. Yeah, there's some pretty interesting stack dynamics here brewing. I feel like I'm gonna get shoved on right now. This is such an obvious steal attempt. Hopefully if I continue, it won't look so suspicious. That's a pretty wet flop, though. Yeah, fuck. Check min raises in any game are like invariably strong. Like 95+% of the time, it's a huge hand. So I'm not going to go fishing for a jack. I'm just going to give up. I feel like going to have a smoke, though, I'll tell you that much. It's getting kind of hot in here. I turned the AC off when I record these things because my AC, it's a window-mounted AC, and it's like 5.5 feet, maybe a meter and a half away from my mic. So it'd be pretty loud if I turned it on. I might have to do that anyway to keep myself from overheating and experiencing heat tilt. And now this guy's at our table too. We've got the first and second place chip dudes at our table. 3 out of the top 9 at this table, including the top 2. Let me actually do the math. I want to see how the average on this table compares to the average overall. And then this guy has what? 22 plus there was 8 in there already. So there's 125 average here and it's 71 overall. 1.76 times the average stack. Oh, look at that. The everything draw. Quads and a nut flush. I don't really think I want to get involved with these guys though right now. It'd be pretty spectacular if these two up here went to war somehow. I want Catch to either... I want him to just fold. I don't want him to be in this hand anymore. I want that bounty to be available. Although going for it is probably going to be chaos. I just want to take as much money as I can. Yeah, it's such a weak bet, man. It's like Jack 10 of hearts, maybe. Ace 5 of no hearts. Oh, check jam. Ace king. Oh, club's good. Damn it. Rich get richer. Can't blame him for blasting that. Probably would have been a bit smarter to wait for the river, but I suppose there was some fold equity there. So yeah, chip leader, those two guys up there, I mean, 600 and almost 50,000, 650 together. Could be pretty interesting if they happen to get involved. And yeah, I'll take a shot here. And now I'm reshoving if he jams or doing anything. Just gonna blast it actually. He's probably not folding, and I don't want that other guy in there. It's a pretty favorable situation by the looks of it. Wow. Dead. Nice. 344 and up to 280. That's okay. Now the top 3 players in the tournament are at this table. That's pretty nuts. So yeah, got a green day going on. That's cool. It's been a rough couple days for me, I'll tell you. This $200 level, no matter what bankroll I start from, every time I get up to $200, it's a problem. Every time. There's never been a time in history in all these bankroll challenges that I did, including when I ran it up from 17 cents to like 600. Getting past the $200 level was like a 4-month ordeal that was just hell. I always seem to bounce off the $200 level. So even though I'm still not particularly interested in this tournament, even now, it would be really nice to, finish high in this thing. And if this guy click raises me, okay, I was going to be pretty pissed off. 918, so well above 100 big blinds. That's pretty good. Let's look at my graph. Boom. So yeah, it's all been fun and games ever since that straight flush, man. That was like that vaulted me into a pretty good finish here. It looks like, even though it's worth nothing on the board right now. $1.52. Can you imagine? Let's see if there's some sap. Yeah, can you imagine being this guy right now? You start with 5,000, you run it up to 92,000 like a champ, which is pretty decent. 50 big blinds at this stage, in the top 8% of the tournament or so. And you don't have any bounties and you rely on the board. I mean, that would suck. I have among the biggest, I think, 705. Yeah, I've got the third biggest bounty in the tournament right now, so that's definitely not something to complain about. Oh yeah, I meant to take a note on this guy. I don't know, man. I'm getting kind of bored though. I feel like bringing up that TV. Even though, man, what a great call off, eh? That guy who just randomly, he got coolered kind of hard with that 8-5 against fours full, like the straight against fours full. That was pretty cold. I can't really blame him for making the call in the river though, because it kind of did look like the guy could easily have just a jack. And, he did have the best possible straight, which is a really hidden hand, too. It's underrepresented. And then right after that, I mean, he shoved with the super legitimate two aces, So I felt like his shove with two aces was maybe evidence that he wouldn't be doing that light. When I had that queen nine and I flopped top two, I was expecting him to have something like, at least jacks, maybe kings. And he ended up having just ace jack and basically committed himself with ace high, which I don't quite understand why he would want to do that. I guess he was just sick of it. Maybe he looked at the payouts and he was like, fuck this, I'm going to the beach. So he might have outplayed me on that hand, in fact, because, fuck this, I'm going to the beach is not a bad strategy in this thing right now. I like my fold here, I think. I don't, ace nine, Man, this guy does not let the shorter stacks get away with anything. I kind of hope we don't get involved. Or at least if we do, I hope it's just like all the money, just not, I don't want to piece my way out of this tournament. If I go broke soon, I want it to be like all of it, like one shot. Just give me 550,000 or see you later, I'm going to play volleyball. Meanwhile, there's a break in 12 minutes and it can't get here fast enough. Yeah, I wish I was in there last hand. I think Sasha Turbo won that, if I saw correctly. Yeah, Sasha Turbo won that pot. I could have busted his ass with that 7-9. It was cheap, too. I thought about it, but I didn't want to get involved from early position with, random offsuit, whatever. It's too smooth, though. I'll tell you, my run in this tournament, is way too smooth. I have not had any real turbulence. Granted, I avoided, everything in the world on my first table, where it was just a never-ending string of people who did not seem to give the slightest shit about their life, their tournament life. They were just blasting massive stacks back and forth with, garbage hands. Just... ace four, pocket threes for 100 big blinds before the flop. Just insane shit. So, besides having to dodge that, I mean, I have yet to be all in a KO, which is rare enough, even, especially at this stage. And then my ride up here, I mean, the pullbacks are really not that big. And generally when that happens... what happens to me is that once I finally do experience a large loss, it's just game over from there very quickly. So hopefully that will not be the case. Oh shit. Oh, dirty. Oh man. Okay, this is actually, I'm really happy about this table change, I think. I did not want to be at that table anymore. This one is not a ton better though. There's a couple of dangerous people to my left. Actually, there's danger all over the place. 100k stacks everywhere. I guess a third of the field does have over 100. But pretty nice looking bounty situations at this table though. And I can bust everybody, so who knows? Might run it up. I feel like the tournament director looked at that table that I was just at and decided, nope, that one's next to break. That's crazy. We can't have the top 3 guys at one table. Sitting out. I guess it's pretty late in Australia. Guy went to bed. He's just like, fuck this. I'm not playing a 2,600 player tournament to get like, you know, a slap in the face is what or 9th place pays a slap in the face, basically. Yeah, this is Hold'em. Fucking raise, squeeze, re-raise. I guess there's no convincing this guy. I could hit, but I don't like hitting as a plan A. I might squeeze if this guy calls, even though I just made fun of Solomon for doing exactly that. In fact, I might squeeze anyway. I think I'd rather just find out a little bit more about this situation and potentially get all the money in against the big blind. If he 4-bet jams, I don't think I'm folding. Assuming the original razor folds. These are a lot of what ifs, but man, I can't wait for that break. I need to eat an orange or something. What the fuck? Cold call. I wonder what that could be. Pocket 9s. Alright. Not sure what you guys are doing. All in. Yeah, this is KO tournaments, man, in a nutshell. We didn't see a lot of it at the other table, probably because there were so many big stacks. But this is how people play these things, man. I'm not like learning stuff right now. I'm not enjoying myself. I'm not doing any of the things that bring positivity out of poker. Granted, I kind of don't like poker already. So that's, you know, pretty likely for me to not be happy. But it's just like this type of play, you know, like 90,000 into 25. I can't imagine too many scenarios in which that could be profitable, regardless of what the holding was. Please no shove. Please no shove. You're supposed to have missed. I want to make it like, ah. That was a really long tank. Yeah, oh, I thought I was right. Oh, I got lucky, but I thought that was probably like ace queen. It turns out it was a bad call, but I was thinking he has like a busted ace 10, ace queen, something like that. He took a really long time. I'm surprised. I mean, kudos to that guy. He had me fooled. Not that I care really, but anyway, up to 300. Again, my tournament ride, like, look at this. The pullback is just not big enough. I have yet to face real adversity in this tournament, which makes me nervous. Because I always close, like, my best finishes are when I run up a big stack early, I get decimated by something terrible, whether it's unlucky situation with the cards, or, you know, I make a really bad decision and I fuck myself up and end up being really short, and then I run it back up and then I win the tournament. That's largely like how my tournament wins look. And when I blow up and fizzle out and don't do anything cool, it looks exactly like this. This is how it starts. So I don't know, man. Not to say that I'm pessimistic or anything. I am. I remain disinterested in the tournament at this point. I don't know how long it's going to be. I mean, I guess a final table is what it's going to take here. Man, yeah, yeah. I've seen a lot of people like make calls like this in this spot. Yeah, like look at this guy just calling. You know, if he were really that strong, he'd probably jam it a6. Yeah, like just setting himself up to get raised by a real hand, and the real hand would have missed against his a6, but still. In fact, yeah, that's worthy of a note. That's that same guy who opened or who jammed 90,000 into 25. So he's kind of dumb. That's the conclusion I'm going to go with. A6 suited versus SS open shove. Yo, I got 150 big blinds in this mod right now. That's pretty comfortable. It's only 12 people with more than 100. Yeah, this guy. Okay, you get a new note, fella. Seeing consistently over jamming. Just make it that. Yeah, I'm getting kind of sick of this guy. Granted, I have kings. I wouldn't mind isolating him. This could be the big cooler if Bodo has aces. Oh, he just disconnected. Never mind. I'm trying to induce a 4-bet shove. We'll see how it goes. The thing I'd like the least, I think, is probably a call. Okay, now I'm alright with it. Yeah. It's too bad. I feel like his quick check was pretty good evidence. He wasn't about to jam it, but it's a shame that he did it twice, and then I have a calling hand, and he doesn't do it. Shit, I'm pretty close to the biggest bounty here. Just about 75 cents off. Within 1 minute break. 10. Or no, I didn't want a 10. Never mind. Nice little comeback from Nova Rise over there. Let's take a look. Actually, you know what? I'll just limp. Fuck it. Yeah, look at this. He was down before, and now... Oh, that's a good flop to represent ace-5. I dare you to lead, tanker. Yo, just fucking hurry up whatever you do. Jesus, people, man. Hold'em players, I tell you. It's like... Alright, finally, break time. Let's go have a smoke and tell the volleyball people I'm going to be late. Okay, so on that break, I got a phone call from a friend of mine, and we ended up being on the phone for most of the rest of this tournament. I'm not going to spoil when we got off the phone, but in any case, I decided to cut out the audio, and my original plan was to just chop down that period when I was on the phone. Just chop it down to the highlights and then walk you through the highlights with after-the-fact commentary. However, I had a problem with my editor, and it's just becoming a nightmare, so I'm giving up on that plan completely. And I'm just going to show you the highlights without any commentary at all. So the period with no commentary is about 15 minutes long, and then after that, that's when I get back off the phone and I resume live commentary. So the next 15 minutes are not going to have commentary at all. So just make of it what you will, and we'll get back to the live stuff right after that. So the one piece of after the fact commentary that I do want to throw in is the way that I played these queens. This was meant to induce a reshove by Kid Renzi, and the reason I thought that would work is because it looked like I was on tilt from having been caught in a bluff on the last hand. All right, I'm back. I was chatting on the phone there for most of the tournament. That's why I didn't include audio in this edit. But yeah, final table out of 2,600. I mean, you heard me complain earlier about how shitty this tournament is and how much I didn't want to really play it. My volleyball session has been canceled because this has taken now. I've been in this thing for about 5 hours now. And well, you saw what happened. That queen, those queens against Ace Jack, that was my first at risk of the tournament, and I was immediately reduced to a one outer, which I then spiked like a fucking loser. And I'm pretty happy to still be here because anything can happen. It's final table. I mean, not too much. I'm still a bit nervous about a lot of these players, but my position at the table is pretty good. I'm happy to be behind Kid Renzi because he's or Kid Renzi maybe, but he's been causing me a lot of trouble in this tournament. He's been very active, chasing bounties like a maniac, and I'm looking to stay away from him if possible. In fact, pretty much everybody in this tournament I've played with. Actually, no, a lot of them went broke. Yeah, a lot of the guys that were around for a long time went broke. This guy was chip leader for a really long time. But hey, I mean, what am I at here? 15, 12, $27 coming to me. It's obviously a lot better than I expected. It's a joke of a payout given the result, 2,650 players. Like, really? 17 bullets? Not even 15 and a half buy-ins? Like, it's, I don't know. The structure's shit. So, I mean, I'll be happy with top five. I was saying earlier to my buddy, I was on the phone for like the last 2 or 3 hours. I was saying to my buddy that I'd borderline be happy with second place just because of the money would put me in a good position in my challenge. However, it would be so tilting to make it through a field of 2,600, which is a field size I never play, just to finish second would be heartbreaking. So, I don't know. But then again, I just had a one outer. I got up and started walking away as the heart hit the turn, and I realized that I couldn't hit the Queen of Hearts anymore. And I was like brutally heartbroken, and then boom, hits the Queen of Clubs on the river to stay alive. So, yeah, ace. Probably shouldn't get involved at all here, but I mean, I'm in last place, and the spread between last and first is very tight. So this is definitely an anything can happen final table. The problem is that the big blind is super active, and is likely to do crazy shit at any given moment. So, not a huge fan of my open with threes, but there's a half decent chance that I can at least play a bit safely. I feel like Kid Renzi might have something like Jack 10 or a shittier 10. Hopefully not, because I intend to rep it. Or possibly bluff catch. I hope I'm wrong about this read. Normally his bets are around 2/3 pot, and everything that was drawing just missed, other than ace 4 clubs or something. I'm gonna have to think this one over here. I said it felt like a 10. I think his turn bet was a bit weird. If this guy shows me a 9, I'm going to throw up. But I feel like I have to go with my gut here. Even if I'm wrong, you know, I got 10 big blinds. It's not the end of the world. Ah, god damn it. Ah, that sucks. That really hurts. My original read was correct. He did have a 10. That's really unfortunate. I just felt like that was, I don't know. I felt like that was an optimal bluff catch spot. So many things missed, and there's a lot of hands he could have been betting with on the turn there. And not to mention his bet size was a bit weird, so unfortunately now I'm in a devastatingly shitty spot in that nobody's going to fold once I go all in. I'm not going to get away with any bluff from this point on until I either double up or something happens. And 9-1 is not enough. God, that hurts. I'm going to be thinking about that one for a while if things don't go my way. But I feel like, a counter argument is that if I had been right, that would have been such a massive momentum builder that and a confidence builder that I think, granted, I kind of like called it on the flop that I feel like his hesitation meant he had a 10. I did think it was going to be something like, Jack 10 or 10-8 rather than 10-3. But, I never saw 10-3 coming, that's for sure. I thought if he had a hand there, it was definitely going to be a 10, but there were just so many draws. There was Jack 8, there was clubs, there was all kinds of busted stuff. Could have been a stone bluff too, which honestly is kind of what I was leaning towards. What the fuck? That's a pretty big fold. Yeah, this is a tough spot. I mean, there's always a chance that I got what? 100. I've got maximum about 1 orbit to pick a hand, and I am going to get called when I do it. I'm pretty confident of that with a bounty of 784. So I don't have a lot to lose from this point on. I am clearly slated to finish in 9th. Right now I'm trying to talk myself into being grateful that I hit a 1-outer to get here. Even though I did get it in 70-30 as my first at-risk moment in this entire tournament. But my chip graph's not looking too sexy right now, let me tell you. Triple top. This is the one. I don't think it matters what the action is. Big blind's sitting out too. This could be sick. And there's the at risk number 2. I believe by the speed of that call that I'm definitely ahead. But, I mean, you know, if he's got live cards, this is nevertheless super dodgy. He does have super live cards. Yes. Survive one more at risk. So, at least I have options now. You know, it's not the end of the world. It was beyond clear that I was never going to get away with a steal, though. That's for sure. I still feel like I kind of have nothing to lose right now. You know, there's almost nothing to gain for me unless I get up above about $1 million, or maybe a bit more than that. So, I mean, I can't knock anybody out from this position, right? So it doesn't make sense for me to try to stick around and just ladder up right now. That's a half decent turn card, but it might be trouble. Yeah, I don't know about this. Okay, now I definitely know about this. I feel like Fernomino might have like ace-5 under the gun limp, ace-5 suited. Makes a lot of sense. He called that turn bet pretty quickly. I don't know what else it could be. Maybe just 9-8, 10-8, 10-8. Good. Wow, I folded a chop. That's interesting. Granted, I did fold the worst hand when I folded it, but it's interesting that an 8 was good. That looks like a tilt shove if I've ever seen it. He's almost definitely going to get called by Army of Money. Or both. Not a tilt shove. Ace is good. So an extra $5 for my waiting and my double up. But I'm still, you know, below half of 7th place chips. So there's a lot of work to do right now. I'd be very happy to see a flop right now. And the pot size is already like shove or fold for me on the flop. That's a bummer. Yeah, I'm half tempted to just blast it. But whatever, I mean, 400,000, you know, I can work with that. It's obviously not my favorite spot. It's not how I pictured it when we got in here, but I don't know. I keep thinking about that pocket threes hand. I think if there was a mistake that I made in that hand that I can really crucify myself for, it was opening to begin with. Maybe. Man, yeah, these aren't the kinds of hands I want to see right now. This hurts me, but I think I'm going to have to wait for a 3-bet shove hand instead. I should probably even just do it with something like that. I'm glad I didn't that time. But as you can see on the leaderboard on the right side there, I mean, everybody else but me has over $1 million. And not only is that bad for the prospect of winning the tournament, but it's also bad for, you know, getting bounties. So I feel like, you know, I should probably just start blasting it a lot. But I'd rather do it in a situation where I'm going to potentially pick up a decent amount of chips, not just the, you know, 100,000 or something that's in the middle right now. I'd rather have some dead money in there, like a raise and 2 calls, and then I squeeze and try to create chaos because everybody's fighting for my bounty. But I am nevertheless down to, you know, under 10 big blinds here, so It's kind of gross. I'm not loving the situation. I can't get over how little money is going to be made here. Like, if I don't pick up more bounties, I mean, the money I'm going to make in this tournament is a joke no matter where I place, given the number of players in the tournament. Like, I don't see how first place is going to make more than $300, which is pretty much what I said when I started recording 5 hours ago, or whatever, 3 or 4 hours ago. Let's actually check. Yeah, chip graph's looking dirty. Nope. I can't afford. I can afford another full round, and there's always a chance that somebody could go broke in that time. So I could potentially ladder up a little bit. Not that it's my main focus, but I feel like it's the only way I'm likely to get more money in the near future is by having somebody else go broke before me. Again, I'm in a situation where there's no way I'm going to get away with a steal. So I have to make sure that my jam is, not light. Pairs, big aces, king, queen, even queen, jack at this point. Although queen, jack is a little bit more easily dominated. Hopefully the gods are on my side when I finally do it. Because being at risk 3 times, I mean, it's pretty shitty. Ace queen. The ultimate doom hand. See, like, if somebody opens now, this would be perfect. Yeah, like a fold to me right now, this would be very good. Or a call and then folds to me. Like Kid Renzi folding or calling and then me shove to open the door for somebody to go ballistic would be pretty strong. Or yeah, this works for me too. I mean, I wish he didn't close the door on himself, but it's going in nevertheless. So 384 to win 872 is not a bad proposition for me. The only shitty part is that the door is closed, so this guy can see the flop for, like a 264 more, which he doesn't, which is okay. Flipping is okay too. And that's a wrap, just like that. That's a bummer. God damn it. What the hell is this? I don't give a shit. 8th out of 2650, and I get $32. Man. Anyway, I got a call coming in. A couple people were railing me here, so I'm gonna leave the recording going on. Yo, one sec. Yo. So I'll update this at least. What did I say? 83. I mean, it's not the worst. This is my 3rd final table in 6 days. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very fun finish. Oops. $1 no limit hold'em KO. I mean, fucking whoops. 14% day. That's my best day since runner-up in the Scholars Leaderboard, so that's okay. Bankroll's up to 227. You can see there's a lot of trouble around here. I was like having trouble getting anything going. I had a pretty bad red day yesterday, and I got it back up. So I'm not super disappointed, but obviously, making the final table in the position that I did have, hitting the 1-outer to stay alive, that was my first all in of the tournament, which I feel like nobody else, even in the top 40, had not been all in all tournament. So I feel like I did really great to get there, even though, granted, I ran pretty hot for a lot of it. Um, I feel like I did well, and whoops, that's in the wrong spot. Yeah. Anyway, closing at 227.83, which is a new high in the account. I guess I should be happy about that. I will note, however, right here and now, that I am going to be making a withdrawal from this account, like now. I'm not 100% sure about the amount. I'm going to have to calculate that. I'm going to try to have 125 Canadian behind. I currently have about 70, 78 or something like that. And I'm going to withdraw an amount so that after the 5% tax, I have around 120, 125, something like that. Because I feel like that'll be a good amount so that if and when I get up to 300 as a balance, I'll be able to reload and then have enough to play, significantly competitively against these other guys who are left. Because in my challenge right now, oh, we got action. 3 kings, good, kings full, all of it. Anyway, in my challenge right now, there's one guy who I just watched him earlier today lose about $100. I was railing him and he didn't know. And I was watching him play cash games, and he lost $100 and then rage quit. So good to know that he lost 100. I don't know what his bankroll is at. I'll find out on Monday. It's currently Friday. But hopefully, the other guy, Max, who was very short last Monday, hopefully he will have gone broke this week and will be left heads up, just me and John. And if John lost a good chunk, then I'm starting to like my position again in this challenge. And, I'm becoming the favorite with every day that goes by. So, I mean, this is my 7th final table in this challenge so far. And I've done it in, I guess, only 2 game types, but, or two different kinds of games, several blinds types. But, 8th out of 2651, I mean, I never play tournaments this big. So to get through a field that big, it's decent. It gives me some experience because I never play these things. So it makes me feel like, in the big micro millions, potentially I could repeat that process and actually go deep again. So anyway, I feel like I did really well in this tournament overall to get that far. And I'm not going to stick around to watch the end of this thing. Sorry if you had, investments in anybody else. But I'm just not interested in sticking around. I really need to eat. So that's a wrap for this video. I hope you enjoyed it more than I did because the ending was pretty harsh. And, hopefully next time I'll have something better.